Rio Ferdinand drops a bombshell on Mikel Arteta's dream striker transfer. Meanwhile, Fabrizio Romano reveals how Real Madrid really feels about their star's move to Arsenal. And to top it off, Arsenal star suffers new injury after impressive win. All this and more you can check out now with the top Arsenal news directly from Emirates Stadium, so make sure to like the video and check your subscription so you don't miss any updates. And without further ado, let's get started. Arsenal staff, fans, and scouts had the opportunity to closely observe transfer target Viktor Gyokeres during their Champions League clash against Sporting CP on Tuesday night. It was a remarkable evening for the visiting Arsenal supporters as the team celebrated a resounding victory with goals from Gabriel Martinelli, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Magalhaes, Bukayo Saka, and Leandro Trossard, leading to a 5-1 win. This impressive result has significantly boosted Arsenal's chances of finishing in the top 8 of the Champions League, setting a positive tone for the remaining 3 matches of the league phase. Amid these celebrations was the underlying story of Gyökeres, whose performance might have been seen as an audition for a potential transfer to the Emirates Stadium. However, the striker had a challenging night, which might have cast some doubts about his suitability for a move to Arsenal. Viktor Gyokeres has become a notable transfer target for both Arsenal and Manchester United, thanks to his impressive goal-scoring record at Sporting CP. However, his ability to replicate this form in the Premier League is under scrutiny, especially after his difficult outing against Arsenal. Rio Ferdinand voiced these concerns on TNT Sports, expressing a need for more evidence of Gyökeres' capabilities in tougher matches before fully endorsing him as a Premier League success. Ferdinand stated, "Have I seen enough to say that I think he can come to the Premier League and be a success? I'm not saying he wouldn't, but you definitely need to see more than what we saw today." This sentiment reflects a cautious optimism mixed with a desire to see more consistent performance against high-caliber opposition. Viktor Gyokeres had a challenging night with only 40 touches during the match, 6 of which were simply from kickoffs, illustrating the frequent interruptions and restarts in the game. Sporting CP struggled to leverage Gyökeres' strengths, often forcing him to drop deep rather than utilizing his abilities in more advanced positions. He appeared most dangerous when receiving direct passes that allowed him to use his speed to challenge the central defenders directly. Despite not delivering his best performance, it could be argued that the team's tactics did not play to his strengths, limiting his ability to influence the game effectively. This is an important consideration for Mikel Arteta and his staff at Arsenal as they contemplate moving forward with a potential transfer in future windows. They will need to think about how they can better integrate his skill set into their tactical framework to ensure he can thrive in the Premier League. Is Viktor Gyokeres good enough for the Premier League? The question of whether Viktor Gyokeres could successfully adapt to the rigors of English football remains a topic of debate, with mixed performances adding to the uncertainty. His impressive hat-trick against Manchester City certainly suggests that he has the potential to excel, yet a less convincing display against Arsenal casts some doubts on his consistency at the highest level. The reality might lie somewhere in between these extremes. It's worth noting that not all strikers who have made the transition from Portugal to the Premier League have found success. Islam Slimani, despite his prolific record in Portugal of 52 goals and 15 assists in just 91 games, struggled to replicate this form in England. Similarly, Carlos Vinicius, who moved from Benfica to Tottenham and then Fulham, failed to make a significant impact in the Premier League. Whether Gyökeres will encounter the same difficulties is still up for debate. However, investing in an expensive striker who might not adjust to the Premier League is undeniably a considerable gamble. Fabrizio Romano shares how Real Madrid really feels about their prodigy's transfer to Arsenal. Arsenal's interest in securing Arda Güler during the January transfer window hinges significantly on Real Madrid's decisions regarding the young player. Since his transfer from Fenerbahce to Real Madrid in July 2023, the Turkish international has found it challenging to secure regular playing time. Despite these struggles, Güler has demonstrated his talent in brief periods, notably shining for Turkey during their European Championships campaign this past summer. While his talent is evident, Güler's opportunities at Real Madrid have been limited, prompting Arsenal to consider a move for him. A potential loan deal has been suggested, which could provide Güler the playing time he needs. However, there are logistical concerns about how Güler would fit into Arsenal's lineup, particularly with players like Martin Odegaard and Ethan Nwaneri already occupying his preferred position. Despite these complexities, Real Madrid has communicated a clear position to Arsenal regarding a potential transfer of the 19-year-old as the January transfer window approaches. Arsenal's interest in Arda Güler is part of a broader appeal the player has across Europe, as reported by transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. In a recent update on his his YouTube channel, Romano explained the extensive interest in Güler from multiple clubs. Let me tell you that from January last year to the summer transfer window, and now in recent months, I think more than 15 or 16 clubs have approached Real Madrid about Arda Güler on loan, including some from Spain, he said. Despite this widespread interest, Real Madrid has consistently rejected all offers. Real Madrid has always said no, and once again, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, they keep rejecting any approach for Arda Güler. They have no interest in loaning him out, no interest in selling him, believing that they signed a fantastic talent with Arda Güler. This firm stance from Los Blancos suggests that Arsenal, along with any other interested parties, will likely need to look elsewhere during the January transfer window, as Real Madrid remains committed to developing Güler within their squad. Arsenal star set for new injury assessment after suffering fresh issue in Sporting CP win. While Arsenal ran out big winners against Sporting CP in midweek Champions League action, a fresh injury issue did put a blight on the evening. Plenty of the talk heading into the match surrounded the impressive form of the Portuguese side, but they were stunned early on by Gabriel Martinelli's back post finish, capitalizing on a cross from Jurrien Timber. Late in the second half, Gabriel appeared to suffer from a slight injury issue, going to the ground and prompting a change in strategy from the Arsenal boss. While Raheem Sterling was ready to come on as the final change in the game, that had to be put on hold, with Jakub Kiwior coming on to close out the win. It's a fresh problem, one that Arteta revealed he didn't know the full answer to, telling the media after the game, "We don't know. We had to make the change because he was feeling some discomfort. I was about to make the change for Raheem Sterling, poor thing. I couldn't make the sub. We had to get him out." While the Brazilian center back was seen celebrating Arsenal's victory over Sporting, there are lingering concerns about an issue that may have arisen during the game. With this in mind, Arsenal's staff is now taking steps to assess the situation more thoroughly and determine if the problem is serious. This involves conducting medical evaluations and strategic planning to ensure any potential impact on the team's performance can be managed effectively. With Gabriel now a concern due to a potential injury, Arsenal are set to conduct routine checks on the defender to ensure his well-being. Journalist Charles Watts reported in his latest YouTube video that Gabriel is scheduled for an assessment at London Colney this Wednesday, November 27th, to identify the nature of the issue. The Gunners are hopeful that the problem isn't severe, especially considering Gabriel's vital contributions to the team's defense this season. With a series of challenging matches on the horizon against West Ham, Manchester United, Fulham, AS Monaco, and Everton, Arsenal is keen to hit a strong run of form. The team's ability to maintain performance levels without one of their central figures, should he be sidelined, is uncertain. However, everyone associated with the club is hopeful and keeping their fingers crossed that the situation with Gabriel will not be serious. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.